Well, instead of a little bug coming out of the wall and something, showing you something or telling you something, Dana White made a mistake. He had the picture of the names behind him when someone was doing one of the videos, and someone blew that sucker up and saw this championship fight for the middleweight title between this guy named DDP and Israel Adesanya. So we now know that that fight is going to take place. Is it the right fight in the middleweight division?
Oh, absolutely, it's the right fight. Absolutely, it's the right fight. They left us hanging
I had to ask you.
a long time ago with this whole face-off and the N-word being thrown around. And
well, you said this was going to be the fight, the main card, main event for UFC 300, and it did not happen. It fell through for that.
Are you just pointing that out so you could prove I was wrong? Is that what you just did?
Absolutely.
The one time in my whole life I've ever been wrong, you found it. Just the one time. Just one time.
Just once.
This is an absolute great fight, and not just is it an absolute great fight. I think it's a perfect timing for this fight. You got Strickland coming off of a great performance. I get it. Having his loss to Dricus, though, he knows he didn't fight to his potential, and I think that rose him up a little bit to be like, nah, this is who I am. And then he went out and proved it his last fight. Strickland did. Now he's going to be waiting. He's going to be thinking, okay, this fight's going to happen now. They have it booked. Okay, now I'm just going to either sit and wait, or I'm going to take on the next person who they potentially think is going to be able to get that title shot. And I don't know who that is, but I know that Sean Strickland's going to look to make a name out of himself in terms of he's going to try to make it a human highlight reel. Now, even though he looked fantastic in his last fight, it was very methodical in everything he did. All he did was the last 10 seconds where it got exciting. But
last 15 were fun.
But the thing is, though, John, is that he didn't have to do anything else. When a fight is becoming easy to you and there's no answer, the guy has no answer for anything you're doing, why change it? Why put yourself out there even more when everything I'm doing is working and it's working easy? Now, I don't like to keep guys in fights if I don't have to because anything can happen. But Sean's very composed. It's not like he wastes energy in a lot of things. And he understands like where this guy's, once he gets the guy's timing down, it seems like they can't seem to figure him out. He did it to Izzy. He's done it to other guys countless times. He's a fantastic fighter. So I think Izzy ends up sitting and waiting for the winner of this, and he goes out there and he gets that title shot next. Do you think it's the right fight?
Yeah, I think it is the right fight. I think it already was built up before Izzy lost to Strickland. So you have all of that you can market off of. There is absolutely heat between the two in Israel Adesanya and DDP. So, I look at it and say, yeah, it's a great middleweight championship fight. A lot of people are going to sit there and look and say, why are they giving Izzy the fight off of a loss? Does he really deserve it? His whole output and everything he's done for the UFC, yes, he deserves it. He's been a phenomenal champion. He's a guy that steps up for them when they need something. He may not step up quite the same as Alex Pereira right now, but I mean, these are the kind of things that people need to look at when the UFC is in trouble with something and needs someone to step up. Trust me, they'll remember that Alex stepped up and has stepped up multiple times. Same thing with Izzy. So this is why Izzy's getting that fight, and I think it's absolutely a deserved fight. I think it's a good marketing fight. I think it's something that people want to see. There is heat between the two. Sometimes I got to say that the heat sometimes scares me because guys fight a little bit protective. They don't want to look bad against that person, so they hold back a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But this is a perfect middleweight championship fight, and I do think that Sean Strickland deserves the winner of it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. Sean Strickland deserves the winner. I just want to see. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Let's go into this middleweight division here.
Well, if you're going to sit there, the guy sitting on the outside is Robert Whitaker.
Yeah, Robert Whitaker. You got Imavov, he's there. You got Cannonier, Vettori, Allen. Brendan Allen's making a good surge. I mean, he's got a little ways to go.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a little ways to go.
No, Brendan's been doing fantastic. Yeah. So,
and then
he's got a nice little win streak going right now.
And this young kid too, Kyle Bahalo. He's good too. He's got I know he's got a ways to go too. He's ranked number 12, but he's definitely someone to be motivated and looked by. But Brendan Allen, him, and then Imavov. I mean, those three guys right now, you've got Whitaker, but I'm going to go also to, there's fights in there for everyone to mix in. Sean Strickland being the number one guy, obviously should be fighting next for the title after this fight. But are you Sean? Do you sit and wait? Or do you take another fight? I feel like he fights better the more active he is. And most fighters do, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah. As long as they're not taking damage, it's better for him. The repetitions, sharpen him up. He's always in that position where he's at the gym. He's a guy that they can call last minute to be ready for things and stuff. But I look at it at this point, he just had his fight with Paulo Costa. This fight is going to be about, 4 months down the road here. When you're looking at it, I would try, if I was Sean, to actually take a fight. You're better off.
If I was him, I would try to get on that card. And then you have a fight, and if someone falls off, you're the backup automatically.
Absolutely.
And then insert yourself right in there, and now you become.
Look at the big brain.
Well, the one time I was wrong, you called me out, so I had to prove to you that I've still got something there. So I came in hot with that one.
That's it.
I like Dricus Du Plessis. I like him a lot. I think that Izzy, though, let's talk about this fight. Let's just break this fight down. Izzy, stylistically, he's got everything it takes to beat him. He's got to stay on his bite, pot shot. But I think Dricus can take the shots. And can he get in deep enough just to manhandle him to the ground? Izzy will not be the same fighter once he gets taken down 2, maybe 3 times.
I agree with that. But the question is, Izzy in the middleweight division has been very difficult to take down for most people. His takedown defense has been fantastic. As far as, everyone looks at the Jan Blachowicz fight. Jan was a bigger fighter, stronger fighter, and he was able to
wrestling, John. He's got no wrestling.
But he was able to manhandle him to the ground. But in the 185, that really has not happened. There hasn't been a whole lot as far as people being successful with takedowns. So you take a look, DDP has been successful in all of his fights with taking people down. His stand-up is awkward. And it's wide. And it's one thing that I know about Izzy. He's very good at straight shots down the middle when people are throwing wide on him. And he does the one thing of pulling his head back when he's doing it at times, which can leave his chin out there, but he's good with it. And obviously he's been very successful fighting that way. So, it's like one of those things as a coach, you look and you go, all right, we want to fix that. You're not going to fix that because that's the way he fights. And he's been very successful with it, so let it go. But I think it's a great matchup, and I do think that Israel has all the tools necessary to win the fight. But the one thing that you cannot take away from Dricus is he's got heart. He is tough. He does not stop. He's got great conditioning. He's got everything that you want in a fighter. DDP has.
Okay. But here's the other thing, though, is that, let me show you this little picture here, is that he is somebody that is normally a lot bigger and taller and longer than his opponent.
No, he's not going to.
He's going to be a little bit bigger because
he'll be more muscular, but he's definitely not taller. Izzy's close to 6'4".
Yeah, but I'm saying though is that Izzy's also used to being the taller guy and the longer guy. And a little bit bigger than the other guys, not maybe thicker, but he's used to being the one like the John Jones of the weight division, who's got the speed, he's got the athleticism, he's got the reach, and he's got the height to his advantage. Dricus may be a little bit shorter, but Dricus is going to be the thicker, the fuller, the strong, and he's not that much shorter than Izzy.
My farm needs the earth, the air, and the water. I get my energy going on LMNT Electrolyte Drink Mix. Clean, good-tasting energy that feeds me like I feed my plants and animals. And after a long day on the tractor, when it's time to shoot the podcast, I drink LMNT so that I can stay energized and stay salty. Let's get it on. I compare Dricus with Marvin Vettori when it comes to the way he's built, the way he matches up with Izzy, and look, Marvin has had good fights with Izzy. The first one he had a lot of success. Second one, not quite as much success. But I think body wise and style wise, that's who Izzy can compare Dricus to as far as who he has fought.
But if I look at, I was trying to look this up, is that Dricus has got, I believe, like a really long reach is what I was looking at. I think it's obviously going to be somewhere. Here we go. Da-na-na. So Dricus is only 6 foot. They don't list his reach, of course. Of course they don't. I'm going to have to look it up separately. Thanks, guys. But I mean, John, I think that Izzy, like I look at the John Jones things when he fought Gus, he was used to being the longer guy, the one that could put his hand on the forehead and treat you like a little brother. He was used to that. I don't know if Izzy's going to have that same. I think he's going to have a little bit of a reach advantage, but will he have the same advantage against Dricus? Let's see. Reach.
Oh, he's gonna have a longer reach and everything. He's just but reach is
76 inches. That's actually not that long. That's not that long.
It's fairly average.
Well,
for 6 foot, it's decent.
At least I'm glad I looked it up. I was going to go on this big spiel about how he's going to have a hard time getting to him because of the reach, and Dricus could hit him on the return.
I believe Izzy's reach is 79 or 80. Though.
Oh, it's not like 82 or 83.
No,
that's a John Jones reach, right? 84.
That's 84.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Insane. I mean, look, I'm excited for the fight. I think this is a perfect matchup. Look, there was a lot of blood before everything happened, and then then they went their separate ways for a little bit, but now we're reuniting and rekindling this and what is it called?
Oh,
hostility between the two. This is going to be fun.
There is animosity that has been built.
But do we get a crappy fight though because there's so much on the line?
It can be, but I honestly don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think it'll be a matter of DDP trying to use his stand up to get in tight to take Israel down. Israel doing things to stop it. 76-inch reach compared to an 80-inch reach. Israel's got the length. And if there's one thing people don't give him credit for how good defensively he is. He doesn't take a lot of shots.
I think where you run into that problem of the two fighters being hating each other is when they're both good at stand up and they decide that like they don't want to take chances to throw a 3-punch, 4-punch combination. It becomes 1-shot, 1-2 shot. But this is where you have a difference of Izzy, wants to keep it on the feet, whereas DDP could strike on the feet, and he could also try to get this fight to the ground, which is where his bigger advantage is. Where the two of them have ways of winning separately is where you're going to end up having a good fight, because one person is going to really be trying to get this fight to the ground and try to land the strikes off of the breakups, and then Izzy's going to try to stay on his bike, pot shot him, wait for the opening, and try to crack him and knock him out. So you're going to see, I think, a good fight. Very good fight, stylistic matchup, and I'm looking forward to seeing Strickland fight the winner.
I think that's a perfect scenario as you look at it, but I think you're right in the fact that Sean Strickland should try to get on that card, because now you're right in line with it.
Looking forward to it. They're going to have this fight at UFC 305.